Hello, everybody. I can't hear anybody's voice. Oh. Hello, everybody. Are we all happy to be here today? Okay, I'm so glad to know that, and I welcome you all here today from Antiayo International School. You are very welcome to the CORA BookTrek, the Obalende iteration today. So I'll be telling you about CORA, the Committee for Relevant Arts. The Committee for Relevant Arts was founded in 1991 with the aim to promote literature, the arts, culture, and education. And CORA is also regarded as cultural landscapist. CORA organizes the annual Lagos Book and Arts Festival that happens at Freedom Park. Who knows Freedom Park here? Yeah, Freedom Park is popular. So CORA organizes a week long, that's 7 days, a 7-day festival at Freedom Park every November, every year. So we already had the one for this year last month. So we hope to see you there next year. Okay, the CORA BookTrek is an initiative under CORA. It's an initiative of CORA with the vision of promoting literacy through literature. CORA BookTrek has the exact aim of educating, enlightening, and empowering young people. So, as you guys are here today, you should have 3 things in your mind today that you are here to do. 3 things that you are here to gain. You are here to be educated, you are here to be empowered as young people, and you are here to be enlightened about the going-ons in your environment, the going-ons in the society. You are here to be empowered as young people who can be free thinkers, who can have their opinions about life and know the exact and necessary steps to take. So you are here today, and I hope you enjoy the CORA BookTrek and you open your hearts and your minds to learning, to unlearning, and to relearning. And is there anybody here who does not have a book? Let's wave our books up, please. Let's wave it up. Let's wave it up. If you have your book, you can smile now. You are frowning. I'm not seeing smiling faces, please. What's your name? Tell us. What's it? Kehinde. Kehinde, please smile for us. Everybody say Kehinde smile. Kehinde smile now. Exactly. Thank you. She's smiling. In fact, she's blushing now. So thank you all for coming here today, and I honestly hope you enjoy the CORA BookTrek today. A round of applause for yourselves, everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing today? Good. All right, so we're here today. We're having a book trek, as you guys know already, and we'll be looking at Obalende, A Nation in Motion by Dr. Wale Adeduro. So I'll be sharing some. I'll be sharing some things with you guys now about the author. All right. So Dr. Wale Adeduro, fondly called Dr. WAO, is a results maximizer, productivity coach, and mentor of high-impact leaders. He is also an accomplished agribusiness consultant. An alumnus of Lagos Business School, he has multiple doctorate degrees in productivity, Christian education, as well as theology and philosophy. He is also a Maxwell Leadership Certified Coach, speaker, and trainer from the USA. At the age of 23, he became the pioneer head of administration in Zenith Bank PLC. He was also once the AG General Manager of the Musical Society of Nigeria, Mozon Center. He is currently the chairman of the Governing Council of School of Mentorship and Productivity. He is a writer and an author whose works have been published since 1986 in the Guardian newspaper, This Day newspaper, Nigerian Tribune, Vanguard newspaper, Niger Times, etc. I was expecting that we'll be clapping as I'm mentioning all these things. Please clap now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So his published works include Billionaire Goes to School, Billionaire Goes to Calvary, Maximize Your Results, Using Effortless Productivity and Sustain Beyond the Dying Field, Overcoming Kidney Failure and Other Life Challenges. Let's start. Thank you, thank you. So right now it's time to invite the author to the stage. So with a standing ovation and resounding applause, please let's welcome Dr. Wale Adeduro.
Awesome afternoon. How are you? Hope you're doing good. It's an honor to be in your midst, and I'm excited that I'm speaking with some of the greater tomorrows in Nigeria and those who are going to shape the world. Okay, good. So you know that we are talking about Obalende. Okay? So the book you have in your hand is very interesting to me. And it makes me feel very nostalgic because I was born and bred without butter in Obalende. You know, I was born in Election Street, and 86 Election, that's the last house on that street. I was born there, and I was there until I went to university. We were there, and God has helped us to get to where we are. So for those who were born there or in an environment like that, I know that the God who helped us will help them to excel. And if you talk about excelling, by the grace of God, the little things that I've done, I have made very good success of them. When I say I was born in Obalende, for you to understand, it's not just all these Obalende. I was born in just one room. I was born in just one room in 86 Election Street, Obalende, with my siblings, 5 siblings, and I. My parents were there. We had aunties, we had house elves. So in most cases, we were about 10 in that room. About 10 in that room. And that room was very big, maybe about this size. Maybe about this size. It was a very big room. Okay? But to the glory of God, all the children that were born in that room, at least in this Lagos, all of us have our houses. Okay, that's how God has blessed us. All right? So it's to first say that for young people who were born in that kind of environment, it doesn't have to be Obalende, it could be Okisuno, it could be Yapa, it could be Ajegunle. How many of you have heard about Ajegunle before? Okay, you heard about Ajegunle, Shomolu. In our own days, there was Maracot that has now become VI now, okay, but I was Maracot those days. Regardless of where a person is born, that fellow has the potential to be very great. Okay, you have a potential to be very great. What is important is the discipline to approach life and tell yourself that I want to make a difference, and that's very significant. So that's the first thing I'm going to say about this. The book also, whereas the title is Obalende, it is not primarily about Obalende, but Obalende, when you are writing a book, or when you're writing a novel, or a story, there are certain elements about the story. First, what do you want to tell the audience, or your readers, about your story? What message do you So what do you want to say about the book? Or what do you want to say in the book that you want your readers to know? What is the message you are passing? That's the most important thing about the book. What is the theme? or what is the storyline, which is now the plot. Okay, but apart from the theme, the plot, which is the storyline, you also need an environment. You need a location. I mean, whatever is happening, whatever people are doing, they are doing it somewhere. Isn't it? Whatever anybody is doing, you are doing it somewhere, whether on ground, on air, but you are doing it in a place. For example, where is this meeting holding now? Good. So if in future we are going to tell the story about today, we are going to mention the venue or the environment where this happened. So Obalende is the location where the story we have told was situated. However, the story in Obalende as a book is the story of Nigeria. That's why you see the rider, a nation in motion, a nation in motion. And that book, we started writing the book in I think it was 1996 that we started writing the book. When that my boss, Mr. German Anupolako is there now. He's not standing there. He looks young, please celebrate him. He has always been my boss since we were in university. And he's the one that brought me here. He's a great man. You know, he became the arts editor of Guardian newspaper. And he needed some excitement to bring readers to come and read his publication on Saturday. So he spoke to me to write a short story. So in writing that short story, we came up with the idea of telling the story of Nigeria from the point of the politics, the coups. You have heard about coups, you never see coups in Jesus' name. You never experience coup. Coup is very bad. It's those who didn't see it, who say they liked it. Okay, but so we had to tell the story of Nigeria because at that time, the seat of government in Nigeria was in Obalende, Dodam Barracks. You heard about the barracks? There's a barracks just at the end of Obalende there. It's called Dodam Barracks. That was where the head of state used to be. So everything about Nigeria was around there. So that place used to be like the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. So you know, it's very interesting that is where the entire Nigeria was controlled. But just next to it, Obalende, that was like a slum. But so we had to tell that story about Nigeria. So it's the story of Nigeria as it has progressed. Unfortunately, even long after the story ended in the book, everything we wrote in the book is still happening in Nigeria. Everything is still happening. But now, in trying to get a story for the book, there is a major character in the book, a young girl called Afion. And I'm sure some of you will relate to that girl. You can relate with that girl and you can relate with her story. Afion is a young girl, born and bred in a one-room apartment. And a lot of things that happened in that environment happened that she saw. She was part of them. And she also became a victim of the system. One big uncle, Uncle Pero, was playing with her, encouraging her, counseling her until Uncle Pero impregnated her, you know, got her pregnant. She became HIV positive, all those challenges and all that. But that's how the story progressed and ended. But the kernel of the story is how Nigeria has not helped young people. And I'm sure you know Nigeria is not helping you. Is Nigeria helping you? Do you feel Nigeria is helping you? That's the truth. So you see, it's not today that it started. But we are believing God that one day it will end. Because the society ought to protect young boys and young girls. We were not protected. The story of Africa was my story. It was the story of my friends. It was the story of everybody who grew up around there. We were just all exploited by the system. You talk today, you talk about hookup, isn't it? You know about hookup. Now, in those days, it was politicians that started hookup and encouraged young girls to do hookup. Because those days, the politicians, you know 1004, you have heard it before? In VI. That's where the politicians used to live, the legislators, the senators and members of the House of Representatives. That's where they used to live. So they used to, because they had money, they will come to Obalende and take our girls. So those days, have you heard about Opashewo before? Have you heard about Opashewo? You've never heard. Okay, that's what we used to call taxi drivers. We used to deride them and abuse them as Opashewo. You know why? Taxi drivers, because those yellow, you know the yellow taxi, not Uber those days, because you hear commercial vehicle. Those days of Second Republic politics, the politicians, they will send some boys, some men, some pimps to go and get girls for them in Obalende, and they will come and get our girls. So when those our girls are going to Obalende from here to 1004 is about 5 minutes drive or 10 minutes drive. Now they will hike a ride in a cab. Now that cab, those days used to be like maybe 5 naira. 5 naira. So, but when the politicians came, these girls, they have a lot of money because politicians are going to pay. So they will just say taxi, 20 naira. Taxi, 100 naira. What should be what? 5 naira. It's like saying something is 500 naira today and you are saying it's 20,000 naira. So, before you know it, the taxi drivers were no longer picking small people. They were only looking for the girls to pick. So that's how we started calling them what? Opashewo, that they are only interested in prostitutes. But why is this very important? That's how the politicians, they started destroying the destinies of young people around us here. And of course, some boys too became pimps. Why? If you are not a girl, I think you can go and market girls or package girls for them to collect money. And those are the things that has cascaded over the years. So, but talking about this book, that is all about the book. Okay? So, if you want to know the history of Nigeria, if you read this book, you see this history in a perspective that is a storyline. And what is the name of your school? Okay, Auntie, your name is in that book. The name of your school is in that book. St. Gregory College is in that book. Holy Child College is in that book. Why? Because everything in this book happened around here, and we were all living here. In fact, the book extended as far as Okesuna. This is Lafiagi. You don't know where Lafiagi is again now because things have changed. But that Obalende bridge there, that barracks, that police, police microfinance bank, once you cross there, where you have Moloni, that is the Lafiagi area, where I used to have masquerade and all of that. You know, so the story talks about Obalende and so many environments around there. So that's the story, and that's why you are here. But more importantly, is to let you know that regardless of how you started life, I'm an example and a testimony that you can succeed. You have to put what life deserves in it. And like Afshon discovered, you cannot do without your parents. Don't trust anybody. If you are a girl, the only person you should trust is your mother. Then for boys, trust your father and your mother. Okay.
Thank you. Oh, great. Okay, so I'll introduce Mr. Jerry Adeshewo to take us through pages of the book.
Chapter 2, page 7 in the book. Christmas Fast. Mommy was obviously not pleased with Bala's declaration. She momentarily contemplated her next move. Her breath seemed to increase a bit. She stood akimbo. With her sturdy stature, she caught the picture of a sumo wrestler. By now, some onlookers were watching an unfolding drama from a distance. I noticed someone moving closer to my mother. He was the father of one of my friends in our compound. But before he could take another step, my mother, like an angry bull in a Hamatan afternoon, charged at Bala. He was smart enough to anticipate the attack. He jumped, and Mommy narrowly missed his right leg. In the process, she nearly hit her head against Bala's basin of cold suya. Kola and his consorts equally left their positions as they scampered for safety. While Kola stood behind Bala, his female friend like an ostrich, kept stretching her neck from behind my friend's father. "Ma," our neighbor exclaimed, trying to catch my mommy's attention. "Which kind suya they make BBB for our window?" Mommy fixed her gaze on Bala. She seemed oblivious to our neighbor's entreaty as she regained balance from a miscalculated charge at the young hawker. The gathering crowd of about half a dozen oddly dressed males and female chorus. B, special. Can I hear you say that now? B, special. Yes. Shut up your mouth. My aunt, who had joined mommy before an unsuccessful child, shouted at the small crowd. Mommy suddenly looked at her. Aunt quickly curtsied and froze like a child caught urinating in her pants. Without uttering a word, mommy pointed in the direction of the entrance to the house. I stretched my body with a simultaneous yawn. I looked at daddy on the bed. He seemed to have slept. I quietly lay on my cushion. I quickly closed my eyes as my aunt opened the door. "I will deal with that useless boy tomorrow," mommy muttered as she entered the room. The noise outside was subsiding. I could now hear the music from the beer parlor, 5 houses from us, all over again. "Is everything over now?" Daddy's voice was heard. "Useless people," mommy declared as she switched off the light. "We shall see," daddy retorted. The next day was a Saturday. It was not just another day for me. It was not just another day for me. For most people my age, it was perhaps the most significant Saturday of the year. The week before Christmas was remarkable in those days. Children in the neighborhood often looked forward to it with joyous expectation. Saturday was particularly precious to us because it was the day our mother set aside for Christmas shopping. It was called last minute shopping. Can somebody say that?
Last minute shopping.
Have you been part of a last minute shopping before?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. So, I remember my mother explaining this phenomenon to us while I was growing up. It was a home financial management tactic devised by mothers in the early 70s to procure dresses cheaply for their children during Christmas. It was said that traders became more desperate to sell their wares a week before Christmas. Hence, last minute shopping became popular among the low-income earners. Today, the reverse is the case. The closer you are to Christmas, the more expensive things become. The convention these days favors the purchase of a week after Christmas. I was worried at dawn. I feared that mommy's experience during the night would discourage her from taking my brothers and I to the market. She had promised to take us to Gotha for Christmas shopping the previous day. I was surprised the first time I heard about the name of this place. I had thought it was a ploy to deny us Christmas dresses. I wondered why human beings would choose to transact business in a gutter, a drainage device, a drainage device. But I soon discovered that this gutter was not what I thought it was. It was a market around the Dosumu area of Lagos, originally situated on top of a drainage system. The older I became, and the more I visited this nebulous market, the more I realized the connotation of the name, gutter. It is a market with an array of very expensive clothing items which drain the finances of its patrons. We set for the market at about 10 o'clock in the morning. My siblings and I were excited. It was, however, not an easy trip. We were pushed and shoved by the people we met on our way. The throng of legs in the market from Tinubu Square to the Sumo that day would have made it impossible for a pin to drop on the shiny tarred road. At every point on the way, shouts of "Ago," that is, excuse me, rented the air. The babble of cacophonous voices forcefully challenged the resonating voice of the Muazzin, who dutifully summoned the Muslim faithful to the afternoon prayers. My siblings and I became so tired that we did not wish to continue with the shopping at some point. Mommy did not seem satisfied with all the items we chose. It was either that we chose things that would, according to her, spoil soon, or the prices were unreasonable. She always had an excuse for turning down our requests. As we turned to the left, my nose was filled with the aroma of fried yam, plantain, and bean cake. My brother and I looked at each other with our salivating tongues, caressing our lips. We suddenly hungered for a taste of the fried snacks. However, we dared not express our desires to my mommy. She loathed the idea of eating exposed foods on the street. After several hours of perambulating the market, we returned to purchase items from the store of a woman with whom my mommy had an altercation earlier in the day. She had called mommy useless woman when mommy haggled over prices with her. Both of them later joked over their feisty temper as money exchanged hands. Our Christmas clothes had been bought. It was time to return home. As we boarded the bus home that afternoon, I summoned the courage to ask mommy why she and the trader became friends a few hours after they had thoroughly insulted each other. She replied that in life, there is no room for permanent enemies. Human beings always disagree to agree. I was not sure if I should agree with her submission, so I kept quiet. The memory I have about Christmas shopping is beautiful. Though physically tedious, it is not gruesome as to involve the beheading of a man who entered a shop in central Lagos. There were probably more men shopping for human heads for ritual purposes than those genuinely shopping for Christmas. Okay. In the strenuous search for what we would wear for Christmas, mommy said there was no more money to procure ingredients for Christmas unique cooking. I was sorely disappointed. When we were leaving home, I had told my friends that we would return with the Christmas chicken, which would be used to cook afang soup on Christmas Day. Seeing that we were unhappy, mommy advised us to pray to God to provide the Christmas chicken. She told us that if God did not provide the chicken, it meant that He did not want our family to be over pampered. We protested that the last time we ate chicken was at the birthday party of one of our neighbors. That was some 4 months earlier. In the evening, we were playing as usual outside the compound. So we had no money to purchase firecrackers, which we called knockouts, and bangers, like the kids of some affluent parents. We enjoyed the fun and excitement of the bangers, which were intermittently lit in the neighborhood. Then, Bala inquired if mommy was at home. He was accompanied by an older man who spoke passable English. I led them to our room with trepidation. I feared mommy would use the opportunity to continue the fight she abandoned in the early hours of the day. As I opened the curtain, I saw daddy and mommy watching the 14-inch 14-inch black and white television in our little but well-kept one-room apartment. As usual, daddy had no shirt on. Mommy, on her part, tied a wrapper around her chest. Her shoulders were not covered. An old newspaper served as a fan for her. Our KDK table fan, had been certified spoiled beyond repair earlier in the week. Bala, what do you find here? Mommy retorted to the visitors. Madam, we can't say Merry Christmas to you. Bala and his friend, Chorus. Now next week be Christmas. Mommy in talk. We dey travel tomorrow. Bala announced as he placed a black polythene bag on the table. Wetin be that? Mommy queried. Na Christmas fowl. Bala kept a straight face. Bala, Mommy laughed. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, ma. Bala smiled, satisfied that their peace offering had been accepted by Mommy. Bala and his friend took their exit, laughing. Mommy looked at Daddy, who had concentrated on the television set with rapt attention. There was a quick cloud of silence in the air. Daddy, Mommy called. Daddy abruptly put off the television set and muttered, useless people.
Thank you. How many of us listen to the book, the reading? Did you listen? Okay, tell me one thing that occurred to you from reading the book. What did you hear? Or what did you see? You know, reading a book or writing a book is not about what people read, it's about what you see. I hope you understand. Because when we were learning, they said if you're writing a book, you don't tell the story, you show the story. So what did you see? Did you see anything? As he was reading, did you see anything? So I'd like to know 5 things that you saw. One person each. What one thing did you see? Not that you heard, you saw. Otherwise the book has failed, or the author has failed. And I'm the author, don't tell me I failed. If you didn't say anything, then I'm a failed author. Then I will apologize to you. Okay, so what did you see? As he was reading, yes. Your name?
My name is Precious. I saw that.
Go on, go on.
I saw that they went to buy their Christmas clothes, and they usually go the week before Christmas, so it's be cheaper.
Good.
Round of applause.
So second person, what did you see? What did you see with your face? Or with your eyes? Or what did you hear? Or what did you smell? Okay, so it's not just what you saw. What did you hear? What did you smell?
Okay, I saw that or read that they were like a family that were trying to manage the country. So they wait a week before Christmas to buy their Christmas clothes and goods.
Survival strategy.
That-
Yeah.
Survival strategy.
yeah, survival strategy, exactly. So aside that, the mother was actually using, permit me to use this English, scope for them. That they have to, what do you call it? Eh? That they have to,
It's not everything they wanted that they should read it.
yeah, exactly. So they have to pick aside some things that they think that she thinks that are necessary according to her. Not everything you buy, and not everything you must get.
When I was reading the story, it was all I was picturing was the market, the way they struggled through the way to get to where they wanted to get their Christmas clothes, the struggle, the pushing, and the obviously still going on the road. When in the market when you are going, you'll be hearing I'll go, excuse me. So the road, and when they got there, the as I said, the scope is their mother used. Anytime she sees that she cannot afford something, she will tell them, oh, it will spoil soon, it's not good, so they had to drop it. So, and also the chicken, that their mother told them that if God does not want them to eat chicken, then they are not going to be able to buy that chicken. Or if God wants them to eat the chicken, they'll be able to get the chicken. So that's what.
Somebody else wants to speak. Okay, someone else is there.
I saw the disappointed faces of the children that when their mother said that she doesn't have money again to buy the ingredients for Christmas cooking. So after they've already told their friends that we're going to enjoy on Christmas Day, that we're going to enjoy, but he later surprised them and they weren't able to get the chicken until Mr. Bala brought the chicken for them, which their mother was so happy. I got so happy. Then another one was that when they got to the market, the market woman, which called their mother a useless woman, they later shared jokes when they were exchanging the bucket together.
Okay. There is something that is happening now. Who knows what is happening now as we are here? Eh? Eh? What's the name? What's the name?
Precious.
Okay, so what is happening now? Now that we are here now, what is happening? Something just started happening.
I'm smelling fried fish.
And you didn't. Okay, look at this one on page 10. As we turned to the left, my nose was filled with the aroma of fried yam, plantain, and akara. You didn't feel it? You didn't smell it? You smell it? Because when you are reading, it's not just, you must feel it. You must be part of it. Because you were not smelling, that's why you are now smelling it outside now. You are smelling the real thing. Because one of the things, because some of you are going to become writers, you are not writing for people to read. You are not writing the story. You are not telling the story. What are you doing? You are showing the story. So it's as if it's a movie. It's as if it's a drama. You know that what you are saying is what people are doing. You're just reporting the activities of people, isn't it? So you who is writing, are you reading it? You are seeing it, isn't it? So it is what you are observing. It is how you are observing it that you are documenting for your readers to read. I hope you understand. That's the only way they can engage. So the next time you are reading a book, if it does not appeal to your five senses, then there's a problem about the book. Do you understand? You must be able to, you saw how they were fighting, how they were pushing one another. You can see the physical there. You can see the source of things. When you say gutter in Lagos, what does that, what comes to your nose? Dirty odor, abi? It's thinking. So those are the things that you let your readers see and feel. And at times you make them to touch it. Alright? So I'm glad that you got it. Because it's important for you to know those things. Because the story, especially for those of you who are going to start writing, it's not for you to just write. You must bring your readers to experience what you are writing. If you are talking about fair, you must make them see the fair. If they are talking about fight, you must make them see the fair. Make them see the shout. Make them. It's not just what you're writing about. You must talk about the environment. Okay, what did you see in Afion's room? You know, I'm talking about scene. Now, what did you see in her room? If I tell you to describe Afion's room now, who can describe their room? The first person to describe the room gets a gift. What did you see in their room?
There is a big family bed in their room, a 14-inch screen TV, and a sports rechargeable fan or something.
KDK fan.
Yeah.
Give him a powerful clap. You know, that is called paying attention to what? Details. Those are the details. So if you are going to tell a story tomorrow, you must look at the what? The details. If you are going to talk about this event, you know you are going to talk about the fan. Or won't you? If you don't talk about the fan, then you have not brought the person who didn't come to experience what you experienced. Hope you understand it. You are going to talk about this aroma of fresh fish, frying fish. Or don't you know? Say, aye! When we were there, even as they were reading, my mouth and nose was the way the fresh fish was what? Then the person will say, oh, I missed. Okay? Who else want to tell us something that you saw? Now we are getting better now. So I already made a promise. I'm going to fulfill the promise right away. Okay. So who else going to tell us what you saw in their room? Or what did you see in the story? Not just the room. Now what did you see? Maybe you saw something else that we didn't see.
What did your eyes catch that nobody else saw? That nobody's eyes saw?
Okay, she saw something. She wants to tell us.
Yeah, I saw that their aunt was in a cushion in the room. There was a cushion in the room.
The cushion, okay.
Which their aunt.
Okay.
Who else?
Please clap for her.
A round of applause for
So,
her.
as you already seen, just to take it now. As you have seen, you take it. You saw first. In fact, the details you saw are not, so you take two because you are the first person. Okay. But who saw again? Better see so that you can collect.
There was a KDK table fan that was spoiled beyond repair.
When was this spoiled? When was it declared spoiled?
Because it was a KDK table fan certified that was spoiled beyond repair.
So when was this certified spoiled beyond repair? It was there. When was it?
So,
It's written there.
So one more person.
So first of all, I first realized that the woman just finished fighting before they went to the market. Then they went for last minute shopping. They go where they went to buy. After they found the Muslims praying, the market was hideous. People were plenty. People were shouting. Of course. Then they got the clothes after all the stress. Then, as you said, he saw the fried plantain and he told his brother that, oh my gosh, and they were celebrating like, oh my gosh, that's food. Like, I'm so hungry. And then they could not tell their mom because the mom would be like, outside food, no, you can't buy it, or she will shout. So they later observed that the lady they went to buy clothes from too was fighting with their mom, and later they settled and they resolved. And then they went home and expecting to eat chicken for Christmas, and their mom was like, oh, they should pray to God. And they were like, Mom, why? Like, we just ate chicken 4 months ago at a neighbor's party. Why are you doing like this? Then they were already expecting, they told their friends that mom is going to cook afam soup with the chicken, and they were like, oh my gosh, why? Then later, I think Bola or somebody brought 2 chickens. We were reading for them what I read. I found out that they were not even happy with the chickens that they brought because they were expecting to use it to scare their neighbors like, see what you do, thank you.
Great.
You know what I like most about what you said? It's not just what you saw. You said salivating. You know, when you are talking about the fried plantain, it's salivating. So it's also important. You know, I talk about the 5 senses. Even your sense of smell, your sense of taste, all those things, you must pay attention to them. Why it is important for you as a reader is that it helps your comprehension and it helps your memory, especially those of you who are reading for exam. It helps your memory and it helps you to recall the details of the things that you have learned. And let me say this, it's not part of the book, but it's part of learning. One of the ways you learn when your teacher is teaching. I hope you are looking at me. Please, hold on, don't share anything now. This is very important. Even for adults, it's important to learn this. It's the psychology of learning. As I'm here, don't just listen to what I'm saying. Attach what I'm saying to the cloth I'm wearing, the color of my dress, my posture, the way my hand is moving, even the way I cross my leg. You know why? Because I want to let you know this. What did I just do? What did I just say now? What did I just do when I was saying it? What did I say? I said because then I dropped my leg. If you remember the moment I dropped my leg, you remember that thing, you never forget it in your lifetime. So it is called associative learning. Don't just learn by hearing. You are not learning just by hearing. In fact, the best and fastest way a child learns is how? By seeing. Children, they do what? What they see. Why? You remember what you see faster than what you hear. So, as you are hearing me speak, associate what you are seeing as I am speaking to what I am saying. That way you will never forget the things that you learn. I hope you understand that. That's why when you read, those details are very important. Look for that television. It's not just television, it's a 14-inch television. It's not just a 14-inch, it's a black and white. It's not just black and white. It has been certified spoiled. When? A week ago. Are you seeing those details? So even if you forget everything, if all you remember is that it is spoiled, your brain will remember the other details. That's the way the brain works. I'm saying is whether you are doing biology or you are doing chemistry or mathematics, it's the same thing. It's called associated learning. If you are not associating what you are learning with something else, or sorry, associative learning, you will make the mistake, you will forget it. For example, as we are speaking now, if you remember this design, you remember this woman standing here. If you forget that thing, hey, that day there was a woman, the one beautiful, fair complexion woman standing on the right. If you remember her standing, you remember that thing. I hope you understand. Because it's important, it's not just, you are not just here to read or hear somebody read to you. You need to learn those things. It's a major trick of learning. Even when you are reading, it's the same thing. For example, you are reading something and you just remember the thing, or it occurred to you, or you memorized it. In that moment, maybe it was when you scratch your leg. Don't forget that you're scratching. The day you are trying to remember that, if you remember you scratch your leg, your brain will go back, because this brain, that's how it works. It's like computer. You need something to prompt it. You know, in your computer, I mean, use your phone that we carry. If you press something, it will go to something else. All you need to search for something on your phone is to press a name, and all the names that are related will come out. It's the same thing. Don't forget about associative learning. So as you read, try and associate what you are reading with everything around you. And as you are hearing, also associate, because you remember that this, what I'm telling you, I remember very well the professor who taught us this. I remember. In fact, the day he taught us this, he was wearing a yellow dress. And he told us, he said, in future, you remember, anytime you remember this thing, you remember that I'm wearing a yellow dress. It was yellow, then shaking like this. It was yellow. This is what I don't want to talk about, but from years ago. All right, that's what I wanted to just drop for you, and I think that's a very vital lesson. I hope you understand it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, two people who understand it, one male, one female. We don't have too many male here, just two. Just one person. Tell us what you understand by what I've just told you.
I understand is that whenever we are learning, we should always associate it with the behavior and the things we see. Movement, color, everything that we see with what we are hearing.
That your eyes can see it.
With what you are hearing. Like now, if you are in the classroom and you are learning something, like when they are teaching us biology, there can be a particular movement or a picture that they will show you. So whenever you want to remember that thing that's talking about, just remember the picture, then you remember what.
Or even your teacher is talking, is teaching, just say, hey, Helen, you are stupid. Remember that you are stupid. The way he drew this line like that, remember, that will remind you of that point.
So we should always, it's called associative learning. So we should associate what we are seeing, what we are hearing with what we are seeing, and the color.
It helps your parents. One other person, male or anybody, one other person. I want us to know this so that
one more person. We are getting educated.
What I just said. Anybody? Okay, somebody who has not spoken. Somebody who has not spoken.
Somebody, yes.
Okay.
Those are the back row, none of them.
Rather, they even just in fact, the gist madam there.
Nominate somebody to speak for you. Nominate a presenter. Okay, Miriam is coming. Miriam, everybody. Miriam. Come on now, we are rooting for you now, Miriam.
Okay, Miriam.
Miriam is coming.
See, Miriam.
Oh, okay.
This was when we motivating you.
Final offer. You are not motivated.
Okay, we force you by force.
By force, Miriam.
All we are saying, we want Miriam.
Everybody.
All we are saying.
Step forward a little bit. Step forward.
Okay. Just summarize what I just said. What did you learn from what I said?
Okay, according to what he said, it means like if your teacher is like teaching in class, so you are learning anything, just remember the way the person moves and the way the person reacts, his reaction. Yeah, something like that.
or the colors you see or
Yes, the
anything.
colors, all the
Just
clothes the
associate
person
with
wear.
them.
Thank you.
So when are you
A
starting?
round of applause for Miriam now.
Presented the money, don't get it again.
Okay, so now, do we all agree that we've been educated today? Yes. I cannot hear you. Yes. I need it to be louder. Yes. Okay, so we are going to do one more exercise.
Miriam.
Oh, Miriam, your money is there now. Ah, so you can stand up. Wow. Okay, so I need, in fact, not just one person this time. Everybody will speak, so you can't shy away from this one. I need everybody to tell me one thing that stood out for them in the discussion today. Something must have stood out for you. Okay, is it the way the author spoke? Is it one thing that the author said to educate you? Is it from the book? Is it from the author's lecture? Because yeah, he lectured every one of us here today. He taught us what associative learning means. He taught us the 5 senses that we should look out for while we are reading, while we are in a class, while we are doing things. So I already gave you hints. So everybody will speak. One thing that stood out for you today. Where should we start from? Okay, yes. The teacher has spoken. Yeah. So just pass the mic on.
The one thing that stood out for me was when he talked about the associative learning. When he talked about the associative learning.
Okay, what does associative learning?
That's learning while seeing the things and also the reactions of the person and the colors.
A round of applause.
So what stood out for me was when he first came here, then told us like about the book.
Speak loud.
What stood out for me was when he first came here, then told us about the book before we even got to read the book.
Okay, so can you tell us about the book? What said about it?
Said told us about Obalende, the way the politicians before who send guys to Obalende to pick girls, then use them as what they want to use them to do. Then they call taxi drivers or crasheros. So,
A round of applause for us. You know? No.
And that voice that we like. Is that the voice that we want? That voice that you just use to tell us your voice is not loud.
Yeah, thank you.
We don't want loud voice.
he gave me the motivation to read the book because he said the name of my school is in the book, so I want to know what they talk about my school.
Okay, that's what stood out for you. That your school is in the book. Wow. A round of applause.
What stood out for me was that no matter where you are, no matter the circumstance that you find yourself in, that you should try and build up yourself to become whatever you want in future.
What stood out for me was that whenever we're reading, we should find like scriptures around us or close by us so that we can remember what we read. That was that.
A round of applause for us.
Okay, what stood out for me is that I learned that visualization is understanding, because even in our exams, most times we picture what the teacher does to remember some things. Like he does maybe like this is the head, this is the toes, this is the hands. That's what we remember. Because in biology, for instance, now we don't just read biology. We know where we want to know. This is the head, this is the medulla oblongata, this is the this is the that. So if we can visualize that, we remember what we learn in class, we can just interpret it on paper in our exams, just like photocopying.
Okay, what I like about the book is I just like the writing and the color of the book. The writing and the color of the
And what stood stood out for you today
Oh,
in the discussion?
the story is quite interesting. I'm not a novel fan, don't like books, but I think I'll read this one.
All right. A round of applause.
Welcome.
Come forward. Come forward. Yes. It's not long enough. Yes, just stay there. It's not long enough.
What stood out for me was that the lecture, the books, the way how it tells us the situation of the country, the way how people different people feel on different situations, whether good or bad, the way how the child feels on Christmas Day, the way how a girl can make a wrong choice, or maybe a boy can make a wrong choice in life.
A round of applause for him.
So that whenever someone or a teacher is trying to pass a message to us, that we should just listen to what the person is trying to say, and we can also the color of the clothes that person is wearing, and you can use it to remember what the person is
Great. A round of applause.
What stood out for me was that whenever you're reading a book, you should try to put yourself in the situation so you can understand better.
A round of applause.
What stood out for me is that no matter the situation you are in, always have that back of your mind that you succeed whatever you are doing.
A round of applause for us.
I remember him saying something about comprehension. So I remember myself that if I'm writing an essay, I have to use the body language, the sense organs to write, to express myself in the essay.
A round of applause.
Okay, I'd like to thank all of you for coming, and I'd like to encourage you. Let me explain this. You must write. What did I say? You must write. If even you who is a science student, your chemistry book, somebody wrote it. Now, the reason why you must write is that after everything you have done on earth, when you die, if you build all the houses, your grandchildren will sell them. Okay? But your book, forever. So if you want to live forever, write a book. Number two, if you want to touch somebody you have never seen before, write a book. Whether you know it or not, you will never forget Obalende from today. You may not know my name, but when somebody says Obalende book, you remember. And all I need to say is that I'm the author. What will you do? Yes, we are the one thing good. Oh, you see my grandchildren, they say our father wrote Obalende. You respect. Why do you think Wale Soyinka is relevant in his age, in old age? Because he's a professor. He retired more than 30 years ago. Eh? How many professors are still remembered, are still relevant? Hello? They are alive, they have not died. Who remembers them? Once they retire, nobody remembers them. But if you write, your book will continue to speak for you. And the beauty about writing is that you are expressing yourself. You are telling your own story. This Obalende, you will not believe, it's my personal story. That Affion is me. That father of Affion, that's my father, inside out. That's my father's behavior. That mother of Affion is my mother inside out. That's how my mother they fight. Now so my father they keep quiet for everything. That's where that biggie, it happened on our window in Obalende there. So I just wrote my story. When I was doing A-levels, HSC, I was sitting beside the window man to read because our room was too small to read. I mean, you can't read when everybody is in the house now. So I will go and sit beside man to read. So that book is my story. Do you understand? It's my story. This is where the room that we describe is the room I was born. That is my father's ADK fan. That is my father's television that I just described to you. So my grandchildren, they don't need to know anything about me too much. They just read this book, they know the story of their grandfather. My great-grandchildren, they will just read the book, they will remember. And you know why you need to write your own book? You must learn to tell your own story. Everybody has a unique story in life. And it's been said, by the time you are 40, you should have written one book. Then by the time you are 60, for every 10 years of your life, you should write a book. I hope you understand. It doesn't have to be a big book. It can be 10 pages. It can be 100 pages. But just write some. It doesn't have to be a storybook. It can be how I passed my WAEC. I was an art student like some of you. I didn't like mathematics. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a writer. So what do you need mathematics to be a writer for? That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. So I refused to go to class for mathematics. So, we had two windows, like two doors. One here, one here. So once teacher comes like this, I went out like one like that. Even when I was in Form 5, those days, we didn't have SS. The week of exam, my mathematics teacher said he didn't know me. I said, I know you. He said, I don't see me in class. I said, yes, I don't come. But you know what happened? A week, in fact, 3 days before WAEC, mathematics, one of my friends, I was a food prefect. I like food, so they made me food prefect. So the head boy, the head boy said that boy was very good in mathematics. He was using left hand like this. That's how he right. So he said, I wanted to use me to practice. I said, practice. He said, mathematics. He was bored. He wanted. I said, I don't have time. He said, if I teach you now, exam is just 2 days time. He said, you will not fail mathematics. I said, are you serious? He said, yes. He said, we just need to practice. I said, I will not write, I will just be looking at you. So he said, hey, do like this, do like this, this is the question, do like this, do like this, do like this. That's what I was doing. You know what happened? 2 days. How many days? I repeated from 3. So 6 years in secondary school. It's only 2 days I used to learn mathematics. And I had P7. I didn't have F9. It was when I now finished. So from that time, I now know mathematics very well. I said, so I was stupid. I thought it was very difficult. So now I can teach people how to pass mathematics. Because somebody taught me for how many days? 2 days. So I teach people now how to, if you enter in bed, I can show you how you make a 2-1. I will teach you. What am I saying? Your experience, document it. It may not be now, but don't forget, you are going to marry. How you met your husband, how you met your wife, document it. Just tell your own story. It doesn't have to be somebody's, just your own personal story. Like my daughter always has started writing story. She can write her own story. She can write the story of people that you saw. The day you stole meat in the pot, you can write the story. Don't put your name. I didn't put my name. That Affion is me. But says, how did you become a girl? The characterization. Do you understand? Did I become pregnant? No. But one girl in our house was pregnant. But it was my story. Do you understand? So you must learn, and that's what I want to leave with you. Make up your mind that in your lifetime you write a book. Normally, by the time you are 60, you should have written 6 books for every 10 years of your life. Nothing big. How I made a first class is a book. Because somebody will benefit from it. Don't you? Who said she doesn't like reading book? Somebody said.
Yes.
But now you like this. You say you like this one. So I have just succeeded in convincing somebody to like reading. So if this is the only achievement I have in life, it's enough. So you don't know who is going to benefit. Now, is somebody who is not, no, I wrote for somebody who likes to read, but somebody who doesn't like reading is not liking my book. That's enough. Do you understand? Some of you like dressing. You can write book on how to dress well. And if you want to grow mentally, you must learn to write. Because that's the only way you can process your thoughts and convert your thoughts into words. It's not just to be reading for exam to pass exam. Because you will not stop passing exam. And a lot of people are graduates and they are illiterates. They even have masters. They are illiterates. Why? They do not read. Francis Bacon said something. He said, reading maketh a man. Writing maketh a better man. You want to be a better woman? You want to be a better man? They must learn to write. Hmm? Who wants to be a better person? I will read your book. I say I will read your book.
Amen.
You don't want to write, you will write. In fact, you are the first person that will write, you will see. You just discover that you are starting, you are Aisha, you have started writing. And there are many things you can write. Anything under the sun you can write. You can write poetry. You can write short stories. You can write your own experience. It doesn't have to be essay. It doesn't have to be novel. You can just write. Don't write that whatever you get in school. How I spent my last holiday. They are teaching you how to write your own story. That's your story. Then you write a red letter day. You used to write about red letter day, a day you can never forget. You are writing your story. And you say you don't know how to write, you don't know how to write. You already know how to write, and you write more. And the world will read your story. Because if the world can read your story, then you have made it. And believe me honestly, maybe you don't know. Today, writing is profitable. And it's a business you can do without running a business. You just write, put it on Amazon, and they will pay you $20. If okay, at my age, if every day somebody pays me $100, if 5 people buy my book every day, how much? No, say $20. Just say 5 people read. If 5 people pay $20 every day, that's $100. How much is $100 in naira? So if I make 165,000 every day, don't you think it's good money? Time multiply. Oh, they are laughing now. That is what this book is doing for me. If the book is bringing money, I'm sleeping. I have about 4 books like that. There. People are just buying $20, $10, and I don't know them, and it's all over the world. All over the world. Who wants to make money without working? Write a book. Just write a book. What do I say? Write a book and publish it online. Leave that one. He will be making money for himself. This book is my retirement benefit. This particular Obalende is my retirement benefit. I have a plan. It's going to be a movie. It's going to be many things. It's going to do world tour of this book. So you are privileged to be part of the book that is going to go over the world. It's not a joke. When we wrote the first draft, 3 professors reviewed it. And their review, we sat down, and a lot of art, whatever, we sat down and upgraded it. So it's an international book. You may not know, but it is. And when it starts winning an award, you will hear. And when you hear that I've won $100,000 for Obalende, you remember. I will share you out of the money. I will share you. You collect. Good. So that I just want to encourage you, and this is very important. If you want to be a writer, you must be a reader. And believe me, if you do not read, you are not better than those who know. Or they said those who know how to read and do not read are not better than those who don't know how to read. So if you have gone to school, your parents are sending you to school, it's so that you can learn how to read. It's not to go to university. Any idiot can go to university. What did I say? Any idiot can go to university. I'm telling you. Is that just go to university and come back? They come back and they are saying it's useless. Do you understand? When you go, you start learning how to read things here and there, develop yourself. I was telling somebody just now, some of my boys and girls, I learned to read about everything. When I was going to marry, I read about how to be a good husband. When my children started coming, I read how to be a good father. When my children wanted to marry, I learned how to read about, I read how to become a good father-in-law. When my children were having children, I learned how to be a good grandfather. I'm not joking. Because all those things, they come with different people. That's why people fail. You just assume. No, you don't assume. You must learn. And the only way to learn is what? Read. But it gets to a point that nobody will be teaching you again. You have to go and pick the book. And finally, it takes discipline to read. At least you must learn to know how to be on your own for about 30 minutes a day. You don't need more than 30 minutes to read a day. I mean, things that are not your academic work. And for those of you who are in secondary school, you must still read 7 hours a day to be able to have A's. How many hours a day? Those excuses that it's not possible is because you are watching television and you are doing social media. That is not your business. You are doing Facebook when you are supposed to be facing your book. That's why you can. It's 7 hours. 7 hours here, you make a first class university when you graduate. 7 hours. Anything less than 7 hours, you are not going to be the best. Minus hours you stay in school. Minus hours you stay in school. The hours you stay in school is your learning hours. Your studying hours. Calculate it. When do you wake up? When do you leave home? To 7. So what do you do for 1.5 hours? How many house chores? You live in a 7-bedroom house. Do you understand? You should do more than 5 minutes in bathroom. If you spend more than 5 minutes in bathroom, you are wasting life. You are wasting life. You are wasting water. Water is expensive. Those of us use generator to pump water. You are wasting money. Let us go. These students, you have to learn. So you need that 7 hours, and it is possible. Very possible. You are not supposed to watch television Monday to Friday, on delivering on Friday. Yes, because your business is going to school now. If you want to be first class, you are the one I'm talking to. If you don't want to be first class, it's okay. That's the truth. University, same thing. 7 hours, you have it. There's 7 hours that's available to you personally. Not the one that you are gisting or you are talking to people you should be talking to. Or the one that does not concern you, you are following the video. You are following the video, you are happy. You say it's your star. Star what? Did you hear the video until he graduated? The boy finished university before he blew. Okay, so that discipline is very important. So I will leave you with that word, learn to be disciplined. Okay?
A standing ovation for the author, please. Say cheese. Oh, yeah, thank you. Sorry. Say Obalende. Great.
One more. Video video.
Obalende. Yeah, we'll join us, guys. Yeah, Mr. Jerry, please join them. Okay, I think he's done. Shema, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm done.
See you.
Obalende.
Are you okay?
Boss from here. And let's see you there.
Yeah, the CORA BookTrek team. The CORA BookTrek team. Photograph, please.
Okay, I will join you at 9.
Yes.
This is a big man.
Oh, wait, I think.
Take it very well, though. I like the best of you. The success of this book is that we are the best of this man.
Just relax for a few minutes. Please have your seat for the next 5 minutes. The CORA BookTrek team, stand for.
These are my employers. These are my sponsors and employers. Oh yeah, Peter, bring the book, let him carry the book.